And for 30 years, Stewart Law Offices have been in existence. We're at the Beaufort office with the founder, Brent Stewart. And I think it's important that people understand why you help injured workers. Why is that important to your firm?
Well, I think that it goes back to when I was young, like my mom and dad worked, and my mom and dad both had to work to put food on the table. So if one of them had been injured, and luckily they hadn't, we would have had a hard time keeping our lights on, paying our bills, putting gas in our car. So when you're injured on the job, it's just not the injury. As a dad, when I was younger, if I got injured, it was, oh my gosh, my arm hurts, I can't do something. As a parent, you start to understand if you get hurt, that's how you support your family. And it becomes really scary. So it's an important time to talk to people and make sure that they feel as good as they can about what's going to happen.
Because you're not only dealing with that particular person, but the entire family.
That's exactly it. So you have a man or a woman that's a parent, or maybe they don't have, maybe it's just responsible for their spouse, or they're taking care of their parents and they're hurt. So the injury's there, but the fear of how I'm going to pay my bills tomorrow, next week, next year is there. And so it's important to talk to an attorney so they can tell you, hey, this is how you handle this. This is what you can expect. This is what you can't expect. So sometimes it's not just giving the good news, it's giving the bad news too, which isn't always fun. But I think people knowing the direction where everything's going to proceed gives them some kind of security, which is needed when something like that happens.
Brent, when you or one of your attorneys helps someone, either in a workers' comp situation or a personal injury case, and they are better,
right?
How does that make you all feel?
Well, I mean, knowing that you got somebody through a period of time that's awful and made them feel better is just a really good feeling. So, I mean, it's almost what drives you. I mean, you're coming in, you can see that they're upset, and if they leave feeling better, you feel better. And I don't think you can take on the I can fix everything complex, because then it would kind of affect you. But I think if you do the best you can to make them understand that this is what they need to do. A lot of people don't want to sue. They're like, I'm not going to sue my employer. Well, that's not going to pay your bills. So sometimes it's just even coaching them through, hey, you don't want to do this, but this is what you have to do for your family. And I think it's just important to make people understand that these are the opportunities that are out there to help you get through this point. You can take them if you want, you don't have to, but understand what is available.
And when you're hiring new attorneys for your firm, whether here or throughout your other locations, do you talk with them about, it's the law and all the details that goes into solving these cases, but it's also the personal relationships that you're building?
I interview, and I may interview differently if I did other fields of law, but I think I sit down, and if I don't get a grasp that attorney is able to talk to everybody, like some of the smartest attorneys I've ever met are unable to talk to regular people. Like it misses in translation. So with interviewing attorneys, I try to just make sure that they have the ability to communicate with everybody, no matter where they're from, what kind of person they are. I don't want to see any nervousness or judgment. Right. Like judgment is the worst thing a personal injury attorney can do, because I think the whole world now is so quick to judge everybody. And then when they get in the judgment seat, they're like, why am I getting judged? Well, it is kind of what we're teaching people now is everyone wants something for nothing, and that's not the case. So if you're hurt and it's somebody else's fault, or if you're hurt on the job, these avenues of recovery are made to remedy these situations, and you need to use them.
Right. People don't walk around with a name tag that says like just divorced or just lost my mother. Exactly. Or so you're really getting to know that client. And it's not just a client, it's a relationship.
Everybody has a story behind the injury, and by the time we get done working with them on the case, we know a lot more than we thought we were going to know, and it really kind of helps you run their cases efficiently as possible.
Well, that's why this type of law is really fascinating, I think, because you are dealing with people's lives and their jobs.
And there's a lot of different, there's the run of a car wreck is a car wreck is a car wreck, but the facts behind everything are different. And the people's backgrounds, family lives, everything rings different. And all those things get mixed up in a ball, and that's kind of all leads to the result. So the more you get to know the person, the more you talk to them, and the more they feel at ease with you, the better the result, in my opinion.
So if you need an attorney, check out Stewart Law Offices.
Thank you.
We've got the founder right here, Brent Stewart.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brent.
Thanks.